Well, you're back on Night Sounds, Barry and Joe, with Kav from Blitz Vega. Look, there he is. Checking in from London, right? Is that where you're at right now?
Yeah. Well, it's actually, I'm in Surrey, which is like a very quiet country kind of area in England. So
it's the Sherman Oaks of London.
Probably a little quieter than Sherman Oaks, to be fair. But we only see foxes and badgers and stuff around this area, so not many people.
Oh, is this where you go out on your horse on the weekend and you
exactly.
go the foxes out and you go and you chase the rabbits and do the hunting and the things?
Well, I don't do that because I'm a veggie, vegan, but
you follow the rabbits to the carrots and the lettuce.
Yeah, I do, and then I give them the carrots and I cook the broccoli for them, and I kind of, but yeah, this is where I've been. So I've been in LA for like 12 years, and then I was when COVID hit, I sort of came back here, but I still seem to spend most of my time in California. So, but it's a nice kind of, it's a lovely little mix, LA and then retreat.
Oh yeah. Do you have your own studio out there in Surrey then, or do you have to like drive into the city?
No. I have my studio at home, which I built over lockdown. So
you sound like a true Northern gentleman there, Kav. And I think it's very apropos that you named the album Northern Gentleman. Was that on purpose?
Yeah, it was for Andy, really, because he genuinely was a Northern gentleman. So he was just probably the most, I suppose, humble, decent musician that I've ever worked with. So it was only right.
Andy's just like a normal, regular dude. He was just in this small band called the Smiths. Yeah. That Andy. That's the Andy we're talking
That's it. That's the one.
Well, can you tell us how this album came about? Because it's kind of sad to release it posthumously, but can you take us along the journey of how you guys got together and came up with Blitz Vega?
Yeah, so I knew Andy for 24 years, and I when I was in one of my first bands, we were playing in Manchester, and in the audience there was like members of our favorite bands like New Order, Oasis, Stone Roses, and obviously Andy was there, and Andy was just so kind after the show. I was like 17 years old, and he was just a really genuine, lovely guy, and he gave us all the kind of confidence to go on with our music career. And then forward quite a few years, I was playing Coachella in with the Happy Mondays in 2007, and it was a year Rage Against Machine headlined, and we were playing like the second stage. We were headlining that stage, and Andy was DJing. And after the show, he just came up to me and said, we should do a project together. And then forward another few years from 2007 to 2016, we still hadn't got around to it. And I was running these events at the Regent Theatre in LA. And so I got Andy over, and he was DJing, and I was thinking about recording some more solo music. So I just said, look, Andy, would you come in and play bass on some tracks? So he came in, played some bass, and then he was like, you know what, we should start a band. So that's how Blitz Vega was born. So we started a band.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What a great
you can't really say no, to Andy Rourke.
I like how you guys
in my top 5 bass players of all time. So I was like,
you're great, but I'm a little bit busy with my stuff.
No, I think it's funny that you pulled the whole Hollywood thing, but came through with it. It's like, we should make something together. Oh, sure. It's like that's what you say in passing to like your friends. Like we should have, like me and Joe would say, like, hey, dude, we should go have some food someday. Joe would be like, sure.
5 years it took us to get this podcast together with Barry and I going, hey, we should do something sometime. 5 years it took.
But good on you for making it really happen.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. So it was cool. We just got in the studio, and we were recording. I was based in Los Feliz at the time, so he was coming over from New York, and we were just just having such a blast making music, and we didn't really care how successful it was, or we were kind of making it for ourselves and just having a great time being Stones fans and Bowie fans, and going, we'd always joke to each other. We'd be like, oh, that sounds a bit Bowie, or that sounds a bit Stonesy, or Bill Wyman on bass, Entwistle on bass. We were just kind of just enjoying it, and it was great to get to that point. And he made it very easy to enjoy that process. He never allowed you to sort of think about the fact that he had pancreatic cancer, and at any point, there was we had this ticking kind of shadow over every session. And we cancelled 3 US tours, and people didn't realize why we were cancelling those tours. They just thought we were just the worst committed band on the planet. Like Live Nation had booked us these tours. We had like 40 dates in North America, and we were like, nah, we can't do them. But because Andy didn't want anyone to know that he was,
he was a private person,
Yeah, he was very private. So he really didn't want anyone to feel sorry for him, or he just, just didn't want that anyway. So we just got on with it.
It sounds like from you, the entire relationship you had with him, though, from the first moment he saw you at that show when you were 17, all the way through this recording and all the way through his treatments, he was still that super positive guy who was always trying to pump up all the other people around him. That's that's a leader right there. And that's someone who's can pull people in and bring out the best in them.
Yeah, he was just always positive. He did not want to, dwell on anything that would be a bit of a downer, and that's why I'm really happy about the fact that we're releasing this album, because that was exactly what he wanted. He told me 2 weeks before he passed, he said, look, I'm also a very positive person. I don't like to be totally honest with you, I don't like to face up to things that, I spent a lot of time in California. I don't really like to deal with anything that's too, I suppose heavy. Heavy. Yeah. So I'll usually swerve that. And so I was like, Andy, no, it's cool. You're fine. You're going to be fine. And he's like, no, I need you to listen to me. I need you to promise me that you will release this album and you'll take it on tour. That's the only thing I want you to do. So I was like,
incredible.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And so here we are. So that's what we're doing. And
you're doing more than that. You're doing record store day, something really cool. You're doing vinyl. Yeah. And you also have an EDM mix of a couple songs. An EDM, Joe.
We do. EDM is massive, isn't it?
It's big over there where you're at currently, isn't it?
But also, it's such a great tribute to him as a DJ, his DJ lifestyle. So
how did
all those things too?
How did Z-Trip get involved?
Oh, Z-Trip was literally my favorite DJ. I love Z-Trip, and so for years I was thinking of a way to contact Z-Trip to get him to work with me, and then I thought, hold on a minute, I've got this tune. It's got Johnny Marr on it, and it's got Andy Rourke on it, and I know he always talks about the Smiths and How Soon Is Now being one of his tunes that he grew up on. He was really into alternative stuff as a kid, so we had these guys working for us at the time who knew Z-Trip, and they were like, do you want me to give him a call? And I'm like, yeah, give him a call. So he came over from San Diego, came to the studio in LA, which is the old Sound City lot, and we were at a place there, and he came over, and we just worked together, and we actually recorded probably 8 tracks or something that haven't even got to mix stage yet. So
really?
We were just jamming for hours on end. He was on the decks, I was on the guitar, and we were just playing and just we had our producer just recording. He hit record, and so I don't know what'll happen with that stuff, but someday, hopefully. But
you'll find a way to use it.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking a trippy, awesome see-through vinyl collection of some kind.
There you go. We're in.
Speaking of Johnny Barry, didn't you interview Johnny at some point?
Yeah,
5, 10, I don't know, 20 years ago when you were
no, dude. It was like it was funny that Johnny Marr's on this track because he was like my favorite interview. I think last year I got to interview him, right. And because it was so fun because we didn't talk about music at all. We talked about bees because I told him I was a beekeeper.
Wow, cool.
And he took the interview and he's like, so tell me how he's asking all these questions about bees, like, and honey. Is like, does it really not expire? I'm like, yeah, dude. It's really fun. You can search for it on YouTube and find it. But yeah, Johnny Marr, you're surrounded with great guys, dude. This is awesome.
Well, hey, now you brought up your honey. You're gonna have to ship him honey over to Surrey.
Yeah, well, I'll be in the States in a couple of weeks. I'll be back in California, so I'll come over and pick up some honey.
We're trying to do a concert where we serenade the honeybees, we serenade the queen, and we bring some musicians up there and film it and like do a big old ritual kind of looking thing. So I'll keep you in mind there. You let me know when you're back down.
I'd love it. I'd love it.
It is absolutely a California thing. Wow, we're not hippie at all.
No. I'm in 100%. How could I ever turn something like that down? I love that.
So what happens now? Where do we go from here with Blitz Vega?
So we played our first show in London last week, and it was kind of like, it was a weird thing. It was kind of, even though Andy wanted me to do this, I was still sort of questioning it along the way, and I was thinking, I don't know, but we got up on stage and people came to see us. Oh, sorry, I keep fading over that way, but I've got one of these kind of heavy heads. Like, I think it's anyway. So it's kind of slanted, or is it that way? Anyway, sorry.
I'm listening.
So anyway, we played the show. People came and they were really supportive, and it was cool to do it in London. So I guess we're going to be going on tour. We'll take the album as far as we can take it. As far as just everywhere, and we've got shows being offered in Japan and Australia and Asia, other places in Australia. I've just covered Asia, but yeah, and everywhere. So I think we'll probably tour as much as we can.
Yeah, well, Joe's the idea guy. I mean, Joe comes up with all these great ideas. I mean, I was gonna say, like,
on the spot. Sheesh,
one of those. I mean, you were 2007 Coachella, Kav. You were like, wasn't that when they had the hologram somebody there?
Hologram Tupac. No, that wasn't hologram Tupac.
I think that was years later. I went to that one. That was the hologram of
couple people, right?
It was Tupac.
Tupac. That's
Tupac.
It. Yeah, it was. I was there. I saw Guns N' Roses. Was the last Coachella I went to when Axl was in his chair. When he was
broke a leg.
Broken leg. That was pretty
That's right. Forgot about that.
They were like my favorite band growing up, so that was actually the first time I'd ever seen them. And then the next time I saw them was at Dodger Stadium, which was cool. But they were the reason why I ever picked up a guitar, so it kind of
oh wow.
You spent a lot of time down at the Rainbow Room then, do you when you're here?
You know what? I did when I was first in LA.
It's changed a lot.
And I bumped into Lemmy, and he was playing that, those gambling machines, whatever they're called, the fruit machines and stuff. And he was drinking his Jack Daniels and smoking his cigarettes. And I was like, "Oh, Lemmy, I'm from the Midlands." And he was like, "All right, I'll have a Jack Daniels and Coke." And so that was it. So I gave him a Jack and Coke, bought him one, and that was it. That was my little. I was like, wow,
man, that's great.
Well, and so that was, and then I didn't really go when I actually moved to LA. I sort of kind of, although we played the Viper Room a lot, over the years. Didn't really hang out around there, kind of for whatever reason. It was a little bit hard to park, and it's like
many reasons, my friend.
Lots of reasons, it's just a lot.
I think like after like the early 2000s, it kind of lost its sheen. It got less punk rock and way more corporate, and then
the new sheen. They put a new sheen on it, Joe.
It's like bands were like playing to play. It's kind of like there'd be like bands turn up from wherever, and they were like paying loads of money to play at the venue. So it's kind of I don't know.
Yeah, we had there's back in the day, early 2000s is when I moved here, and there was. Oh God, I think it was the guys from the Posies. Actually, they put together this thing called Poptopia.
Yeah,
and it was like
I played with the Posies. We supported them at the Viper.
Oh, there you go. See, they put together these shows, and it was like all the little clubs all over Los Angeles for 2 weeks straight would just play, and the most random people would come out. Like Weezer would just get out there and just play a show at like the Mint. And like all these big actors going. It was so fun. We need that again. We need you to do that. Headline that. I'd go to that. I'd go to every show.
Yeah, I'd love that. I loved LA around that time. It was just amazing. It was just so exciting. It was just, especially coming from London. London had its point in the early 2000s, and it was just amazing. And then I came over to LA, and it was just, just playing shows all the time. Everything was a party. Everyone was excited. Everyone was just so into, bands and live music.
Mid 90s to like mid aughts, San Diego through Santa Barbara. It's like you could just go play shows all the way through and make a complete living out of it. I know bands that did it,
Yeah. No,
so,
great.
And that was great. But like, I guess the scene moves. It moves like, because you said it was London, and then it was New York, and then it was LA for a little bit. Yeah. Where is it now? I want to move there.
I know, me too.
Nashville is where we've been hearing a lot of musicians coming from there, or Tennessee adjacent. They all like drivable to Nashville. I guess you can drive to Nashville from like Florida or something. I don't know nothing about the East Coast.
Way too far, man.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying it's over there, not here anymore.
Driving from like LA to Austin, that like took 30 hours or something.
Oh yeah, that's
for South by
2,000 miles.
Yeah,
LA to Austin is 2,000 miles or 1,800 miles. It takes like 3 days.
We weren't ready for that being Brits, we had no idea that this was a thing. We were like, oh, cool, we'll just get a bus in LA and we'll just drive with our gear all the way to Austin. And we made it like just in time for sound check. And we left like, anyway, it was still cool. It was great. Love Austin.
Hey, you gotta see some good country out there.
It's great.
The things you learn about the United States when you're not from here, and when you're from here. Nowadays, LA is all about skyscraper graffiti. So that's what we have going on.
Really? Oh, is it? It's actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, there's a. Tell them, Joe. Tell them about the skyscraper.
My wife and I were just talking about this today. Okay, so there's this Chinese conglomerate that was building this huge multi-story, like 50-story multiplex in downtown Los Angeles, right by the basketball stadium. By Staples. I refuse to call you crypto.com. And so the company went bankrupt, and so this building is like 75% finished, but all the outside areas are completely exposed still. So people started jumping in and doing graffiti all over the place. You can see it on the screen. And so it's like, and so the city was like, okay, guys, you guys got to figure this out. They only really stopped it in the last couple of weeks because people started base jumping off of it and landing in the middle of the intersections down below. And so they were like, nope, that's it. Cut it off. So yeah, that's what you're missing. You've moved to Surrey and you're missing all the base.
I know. Well, I'll be back in a couple of weeks so I can soak it all in again. So
you can't miss it.
Take a picture at our newest landmark here. Graffiti Tower.
Well, Kav, thanks for coming on, man. Blitz Vega is coming out soon. Northern Gentleman out in late April.
That's right. We've got a single out on Friday called Disconnected. That's the first single from the record, and then another one out on the 5th of April, and then the full album comes out on the 26th of April.
Awesome. So, you got a website for us?
I don't think so. I think it's just Google Blitz Vega. There's
just go
there
at Blitz Vega. Just at Blitz Vega.
There you go. At Blitz Vega. That's even better.
At Blitz Vega. It kind of works. We're excited to get this record out. It's a journey. It's 7 years. It's kind of the longest span that I've ever been in, but it feels as if it's been the shortest project I've ever been in, because we've played less shows. We played 2 shows. One in London, one at the House of Machines in LA, and that was it. They're the only 2 shows we ever played. So, it's we recorded this record over 7 years, so it's literally a diary of the last.
More coming soon, though.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Can't wait for the B-sides too.
Yeah.
Well, Kav, thanks for coming on Night Sounds. Let's play some more Blitz Vega.
Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time, and would love to see you at at the LA show or wherever you are.
Hey, come on back and we'll go to the skyscraper.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'd love that.
We'll do some base jumping.
No, you can do some base jumping. I'll just
no, I'm scared of heights. I can't do that.
We'll just look up at it. All right.
No.